fellow Nigerians, it is important for us to address an issue that was raised by Mr. P2B during his recent media briefing. Recently, Mr. P2B had the cause to address a section of the Nigerian media on some of the issues bedeviling us as a nation. He did also offer some insights on how to move the nation forward, but particularly one thing caught my attention, which will not be a surprise to most of us, that whenever we are looking at addressing the issues of unemployment, insecurity, and whatnot, the first thing that most analysts put forward is the cut in the cost of governance. Well, I agree that it is very crucial for us to reduce the cost of governance, whether it is going to be adopting a unicameral legislature or that those in political offices reduce their number of appointees. We are not always paying attention to the cost of electioneering. Genuinely, there is no way we can advocate for a cut in the cost of governance without actually paying attention to what it actually costs for a senator to emerge as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For example, I spent 2 billion naira to emerge as a senator. You can imagine that I will be preoccupied on how I'm just going to make the most of the opportunity to recoup whatever I have spent. So speaking to me about cutting the cost in governance doesn't make sense. No matter how we look at it, we might think that, okay, yes, being a senator is an opportunity for me to serve the nation. But you must know that man is an economic being. He is first and foremost driven by what is in need for me. And if at all I need to present myself to serve the Nigerian people as a senator, at what cost would I do that? So at what cost would I actually, would I actually spend 2 billion naira to serve Nigerians? That is the reality of it, the reality of the whole thing. Even those who are willing to serve Nigeria at the national capacity, even at the state or local capacity, are discouraged because at what cost exactly am I to serve Nigeria? So there is no way we can be having the discussion about cutting the cost in governance, whereas we are not looking at the process by which those who are in public offices are emerged. The fact is, the cost of electioneering had put off those who have genuine interest to serve Nigerians. We only have people who see politics as business, and they are willing to, spend whatever it costs to get them into office. And once they are there, you can't genuinely convince them to cut costs in governance, because moreover, you were speaking of cutting costs in governance, it is going to pass through the National Assembly. So how are you going to convince a sitting senator who had spent almost 2 billion naira to emerge as a senator, to cut down in his salaries, to reduce his number of appointments, which are mere political settlements? So how genuinely can we convince these senators? So if we are looking at cutting costs in governance, we're not just looking about talking about maybe running a unicameral legislature, asking the president to, merge some of the ministries that have similar portfolios, or asking him to limit his number of appointments. We genuinely have to discuss how exactly we can beat down the cost of running for political office, which is exactly what my policy line would be as far as reforming our electoral process. We'll be coming up with an idea that would drastically reform our electoral process to make sure that the cost of electioneering is drastically reduced. So it is important that whenever we're discussing cutting cost of governance, we are also discussing cutting costs in terms of the process of electioneering. That is the only way we can genuinely cut costs in governance. That is the only way we can genuinely get people who are, interested in serving Nigerians to emerge. I thank you for stopping by. I am Francis Onyema, 2027 presidential aspirant.